I knew early on that finding truth is not the same as finding happiness. You aspire to see the truth, but once you have seen it, you cannot avoid suffering. Otherwise, you have seen nothing at all.
We did not have an approach. We allowed the material and our experience of filming to speak to us. And so it evolved through the filmmaking process. When we started editing, that's when we decided, okay, this is the way we're going to do it. Because in the filming material, we had 150 hours, we had interviews, we had different approaches, but the editing really made it solid, a solid decision. Okay, this is the way we're going.
Mindfulness is to always arrive in the here and the now. He have been running a lot, but he have not arrived.
How do you like audience to see Thich Nhat Hanh when you like to do this movie, or the message just come out toward the end of the story?
We did not have any agenda, any idea of how we wanted Thich Nhat Hanh to be seen. It was much more about how do we tell a story about a monastic community and their teacher, which has resonance beyond people who already know about it. Because people who already know about it, who go on retreats, who listen to Thich Nhat Hanh's Dharma talks, that's the easy audience, because they're already in love. What about the people beyond? And this is difficult. We had to make a story that we felt was universal, just about human emotion. And so that's really the only real aspiration, the real only aim we had, was to try and get this wider.
What's the most difficult part of filming Walk With Me?
The what we call the access, in other words, access to the community. Because in the beginning everybody was very happy, but they did not really know what it would be like, because the monastics had not allowed cameras so close. So sometimes it would feel like we were disturbing the practice a little bit, so then we would pull back and then come forward. So it took a long time, and sometimes there was a little bit of resistance in the beginning, and gradually we kept coming back and back and back, and so we broke through the resistance, and then after a while they didn't even notice us anymore. So we were able to film, they didn't even see we were there, which is ideal.
We take a vow to not have any personal possessions. So we don't have money, we don't have a bank account, we don't have a credit card. You know Yoda in Star Wars? He's a little bit like that.
One of the main characters, the monk, is your brother. What have you learned from his practice in Plum Village? Because you see him growing up in the same family, you are brothers. How have you seen him change through the practice?
Well, he has become very, very calm, extremely... he's slowed down a lot. I've seen him become very happy. I know his happiness is very profound in this role, in this community. So that is very beautiful for an older brother to see his younger brother happy.
Mountains and rivers, earth and sun all lie within the heart of consciousness.
Do you have to introduce David Cumberbatch to Thich Nhat Hanh before he really show his voice in the film?
No, he found it himself. Benedict had read one of Thai's books on love. 1 year before I asked him to do the film. And then when we asked him, he said, yes, I will do anything for this. He said, Thich Nhat Hanh has changed my life.
Wow, that's great.
So I will do it, and we're excited that in October at the London Film Festival he will see the film.
I have a doggy. This doggy died, so I don't know how to be not so sad.
You look into the sky and you see a beautiful cloud. The cloud has become the rain, and when you drink your tea, you can see your cloud in your tea.
How do you think of the value of Thich Nhat Hanh lesson to the world? What's the most valuable aspect from his teaching?
Well, I think the most valuable aspect is really the nature of the teaching. It's so simple, and that simplicity is very rare. The world is very complex, and people like to explain why it is so complex. You even have things such as complexity theory, which is about how interrelated and how complex ecosystems human beings, technology, all these things are. And actually it's very rare for somebody to just say, become aware of your breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. It's so simple. And yet nobody does it. But actually if you listen and you start doing it, it can change your life. So I think that's pretty valuable.
The past is no longer there. The future is not yet there. There's only the present moment.
All that remained was a deeply rooted